Yo, what's good? It's your boy Mafioso. It's been a while, man. Welcome to the Hive podcast, the definitive source for all things street culture, business, roller skating, dancing, whatever I want to talk about, man. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and let's get to it.
Welcome to the show, let us all begin. Introduce a new approach to evolve and win. Taking lead, never stop, can't fall again. Took heed and watched who I called a friend. On a swivel, ain't none of this simple. Rather be at the table, conversing what's beneficial. Put in hard work, unapologetic with your craft. Yeah, the scars hurt, but I won't regret what's in the past.
What's good, man? I appreciate y'all for tuning in, first and foremost. It's been a minute. I think this is episode 5 of season 4. And we haven't had an episode since the Crew of Gods episode. And so I wanted to hop on and just have a good conversation with one of my new clients, Bryanna.
What's up, guys?
I can't let you. It's funny when you get on camera because you're
I
like,
was like, what do you want me to do? Do tricks? Like do cartwheel? Like
I can't.
yeah,
no.
like bark?
That would probably be a good episode to have, but I don't think we'll do that.
Part two.
So just to give you guys a little background, me and Bree met each other probably like 2 or 3 years ago at the skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
She is a good friend of mine. We've like seen each other every Sunday for probably like 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Dang, we like go to church together.
We go to our church, just drink. Yeah.
And so she has a business and it's really booming. So I told her, I said, hey, like we got to get you on the podcast. We got to talk to you about stuff and just let people know who the hell you are and about this crazy ass idea.
They know who I am. They know.
But welcome. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I can't complain. Business is business. It has ebbs and flows, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful to still be here, still be grinding. This is literally like, I think our almost 40th episode.
Yeah, let's go. Yay, 40.
Yeah. So I want to get to 100. So I got to find some other people to interview, but just so you know why this podcast started. I don't know if you watch it. I don't know if you ever watched a full episode or if you just watch it on Instagram, but I am obviously a crumper. I'm obviously a roller skater, graffiti, hip hop, street culture, business.
Got it.
These things like literally shaped me. So now that I can't be involved in like the dance scene, the roller skating much, all of these things, my YouTube account has a pretty decent following. So I figure put people that I know, that I respect, that I honor, that I want to interview on the podcast. Aww. And it also helps the culture keep moving in a sense.
You get that conversation started and growing. Yeah.
And not only that, everybody has a story. Like there's so many people, like I didn't know a lot of the things I knew about until I had a conversation with Raz B when I had him on the episode.
Yeah.
Like same thing with my friend John Boogs, same thing with other people. I just didn't know a lot of the things, and you don't do it until you have a conversation with them.
Do you sit down and actually listen?
Exactly. So, yeah, so that's what the podcast is about. Okay. Now, let's talk about you.
Why me?
Dun, dun, dun.
You don't want to talk about me. I'm boring.
No, you're not. Not at all. So, where are you from? What was your upbringing like? And like what came, like how'd you get creative?
I am from here.
Really? You were born here?
I was born here. I thought it was Texas, but I found out, finding my birth certificate, I was born here at 9:27 p.m. at Mountain View Hospital.
Mountain View, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I actually live down the street from that hospital now, which is really funny. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I thought it was Texas for a while, but no, it's just because my family and I would visit a lot when my parents were together, and then just once they split up, we didn't visit as much. Upbringing was not my favorite. I don't want to say I had a bad one because I know people who had a lot worse, but there was definitely a lot of red flags that I learned like as an adult. I'm like, hey,
that was different. I probably wasn't supposed to go through that.
You know, but it is what it is. It's not the best. I don't really have a relationship with my mom currently. It's just something I decided on. I just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Just fulfilling. I just know it's not going to go anywhere. So I don't want to waste my time and energy in that department. My dad, however, I love him to death. We may not see eye to eye, but I can tell that he cares and he tries. And we just, I don't know. We just bond over that. That's all that matters. He's there for me. He does not know what I do for work. I don't know if I will tell him. We'll get to that conversation when it gets there. But for right now, he just knows that I work from home and I make cakes. And that's not a lie.
That's all he has to know.
That's all he has to know.
He ain't got to know nothing else.
Nope.
Dad,
and I know he'll never.
I am a great cake decorator.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen. And I know he'll never see it because this is the same man who couldn't change his password on his phone the other day, so I had to come over and help him. Okay.
Sounds like my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know he'll never see my Instagram, so that's not an issue. People are like, what if he sees? He won't.
Yeah.
He won't.
He ain't never going to download the app. He probably can't even get to the app store to download
No,
it.
he's like, what is an app store? No, so that's not an issue.
What's an app type shit?
But this man can build a house from the ground up.
Some men are like that.
Bro, he can do cars,
I'm the
HVAC,
opposite.
electricity, all that plumbing, but God forbid technology comes his way.
I'm the opposite. You put a computer in front of me, I can do whatever you need me to do. You put a hammer in my hand, I'm handing it to my wife.
She'll get it done.
We know our roles very well. We are a very dynamic couple. I'm not the man that's going to go on top of the roof and fix the shingles. It's not going to happen. She probably won't either. But she will probably paint the house. She will build furniture. She will.
I love building furniture.
All
That's
types
like
of
adult
stuff.
Legos. I love that shit.
So like ultimately, we know our roles. Okay, grew up in Vegas. What high school did you go to?
Bonanza.
That's why we get along.
Bonanza Bengals, baby.
One of the schools that I did like when I was in high school was Bonanza. Like I liked certain schools, and other schools I was like, no, fuck y'all, forget y'all.
See, I don't want to say that, and I hated school so much.
But I know I didn't like school. There was just people at certain schools that I was cool with.
Oh, I feel you. So all the people that you fucked with were at Bonanza. So you're like, I like Bonanza people.
Bonanza, Green Valley. I didn't like Basic. I liked Foothill though. Like I went to Shap, so I was an East Side kid.
Nah, bro, I had 4 friends for high school, and that was it. I can still name it. There's Amari, there was Zach. I don't talk to him. There was Damien, and there was the other Bryanna, but she was Skipper. And that was my crew.
I had a crew too, and what's funny is like I recently got connected with like one of my best friends from like when I was 13, and that's where like Gods came from, the Crump crew, because he told me like that was a tagging crew when we were younger. He was like, bro, make that a Crump crew. Because it means like giving out death sentences. That's like a perfect battle mentality. So yeah, but it's crazy like where people go in high school. Like Kalina still has all of her friends from when she was like 12.
That's cool.
Like her best friend from 4 years old just came to the house like last week. And like it's crazy to see like where people be going and like how life intertwines and you're able to like switch back or whatever the case may be. Second question. When did the creative part of your life come into play? And like, when did it click? Like that you wanted, because when I first met you as a graphic designer. I didn't meet you as a cake decorator.
Yeah, you're trying to hire me to work for you. And
I was like, yo, I need a graphic designer in my staff. Like, what are you doing with your life?
And I was like, I let you draw on my iPad, and you're like, come work for me.
I was like, man, I was trying to recruit her forever.
I know.
But it's okay.
But
She's
I knew
got
I
her own
wasn't
thing
going to be
now.
passionate and do what you want, and I didn't want to like waste your time. Like I was like, I see the opportunity you're trying to give me, and I know I'm not going to give you what you want, and I'm not going to waste.
And that's good because you're aware of who you are. And there's a lot of people that aren't. They're like, oh, it's an opportunity. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, but
you knew what I was looking for. You knew that I needed an employee, a person that was like really like trying to build, and you weren't willing to do that. So you said no. But when did it start?
I've always been like that as a kid. I've always just loved being creative and knew how to draw. Like I probably like the youngest core memory I remember is like me trying to draw SpongeBob as it was, like not tracing, just like here's my paper, here's SpongeBob, and I drew that shit. And my sister like watched me for 10 minutes drawing it. I took it to my dad and I was like, Dad, look, I drew this SpongeBob. He goes, you didn't do that, you traced it. And my sister goes, no, she actually drew it. I watched her, it was really cool. And I was just like, oh, thanks sis, I appreciate that. I just remember my dad looking at the drawing, looking at me, which is like I could just tell he was just so impressed. Yeah. And ever since then I was just like, I have something here. Just like I remember teachers, people were like, hey, you're like good at like art. And I was like, yeah, I am. As a kid, I just always. That's
the same way with me. Like when I was a teenager, I would just like the Cholo S, the 3 lines and the 3 lines.
Everybody
that's what I first drew.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I'm drawing letters. And then next thing you know, I'm graffitiing on walls. And next thing you know, I'm like getting caught graffitiing on walls. And then I realized it could make me money when I was in high school because I did the graffiti on backpacks.
That's dope.
So like I was the patch, the small pocket on JanSports. In the early 2000s, everybody had that with their name and a graffiti. And I was doing people's backpacks for $50.
That's dope, making that money. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, and then when I realized that, I was like, okay. And then during that time, it was very popular to do like MySpace pages. And if you could code, you could easily design people.
Easily. I miss MySpace so much. Bring it back. Bring it back. For real.
Tom is not doing that.
He's like, I'm not fucking with all these
He's
people.
literally like still a millionaire because he sold MySpace, but he's like a freelance photographer now.
I know. He's like, I'm not gonna give a fuck about you
All
guys.
he
I'm
does
doing my own
is,
shit.
I feel the same way.
I get it. You did your shit. You did your time. Just you made your mark on society. Just know we miss it.
We miss it.
We miss it.
We
bro.
miss an actual social media platform.
Well, there's creativity,
man.
and everything's not copy and paste, and everyone's the same.
Oh yeah, AI has literally taken over.
Not just
That's
AI.
why people think that AI are going to take our jobs. I personally think that we're going to be the people are searching for. Because I can literally look on Instagram right now, scroll for probably 5 minutes, and I can see multiple flyers that were created by ChatGPT. I can see multiple logos that were created by AI platform.
I can see videos. I can
and I'm
tell.
like, you could literally tell the difference in a creative that creates it themselves or a creative that's utilizing AI. Mm-hmm. And I literally posted on my story the other night. I was like, dude, like y'all got to stop using ChatGPT. Like there was a gospel artist that had 500,000 followers. And her flyer for her show in Vegas was created through ChatGPT. And you could tell because the letters were off, like it wasn't right.
God forbid you pay an actual artist to take care of you and care and draw what you want.
Like you performing with Maverick City. They're one of the biggest gospel groups in the world right now. And you used, like my wife was like, well, maybe she ain't got a marketing team. I'm like, oh, she's definitely got a marketing team.
No,
she's signed to a major label. Yeah, and
it's just like a cheap thing. I'm sorry, you're just cutting a corner. You're just cutting a corner.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day. I'm like, you can sugarcoat it all they want. You're cutting a corner. You don't want to pay someone. You are going through an AI to do it for you. That is what you're doing.
I could understand DIY and shit. I could understand it. If you don't have a budget, whatever the case may be, go.
I love DIY. My costume every year. Are you kidding me? I was a Rubik's Cube. This year I'm gonna be mac and cheese. Okay, hear me out. Okay, yellow morph suit. Okay, take some yellow pool noodles, glue them to yourself, make a little macaroni cheese, get a bucket, craft macaroni cheese cup. Done.
See what the fuck I'm talking about? That's crazy. It's such a good idea. Okay.
Yeah,
So
like, why buy costumes?
When did the graphic design turn into baking?
I think around like when I was a teenager, because I'd always like drawn, done stuff like that, art, whatever projects. But then like I think 17 or so, I was kind of experimenting with baking and all that. And I was supposed to go to college, but things didn't work out. So then I just found work at a bakery. And just over time working at different bakeries, I just picked up things of like how to decorate, how to do this. And they were like, oh, she's actually like a quick learner. She can do really well. And it kind of just grew from there.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't have any schooling, no schooling.
It's very much
all
like
hands-on.
me.
All of my knowledge of art is hands-on experience and Google. Google and YouTube and TikTok is your friend. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, like I'm not a genius. I just know how to I
figure shit out.
I sold weed when I was in high school. Like, let's just be honest.
That's the start of entrepreneurship, though.
And then I learned how to buy something for $100, sell it for $200, and keep the profit. And that's business. Now, there's obviously intertwining things to it. There's things you have to do. There's things you have to abide by. You have to pay taxes. You have to do all of that.
Oh my God,
but
taxes, don't even get me started.
The concept is have a cost, and that cost has to be lower than what you sell it for. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters. That's really it. And then once you figure out your vehicle, you could literally go ham. And my vehicle was graphic design for years. Then I learned how to build websites. I had a job that I had, and I started coding. And then next thing you know, I'm building websites. I'm doing my thing. And then I started learning the marketing side of things. Okay. And literally the digital marketing agency just grew itself. So, but on that note, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are actually going to get into her actual position now. And I want you guys to understand something. This idea was told to me in the middle of the skating rink. I'm like, I think it was a late skate too.
No, it was outside. It was like outside of the one that was like parking.
That was the first time you mentioned it.
And I saw you and your wife. I was like, hey guys, I have an idea. You want to hear it?
Yeah. So we'll talk about it when we come right back. Y'all watch these ads real quick.
What does it mean to live the culture? At Swarm Brand, it's more than style. It's a movement. Born from the streets, every piece we create reflects the energy, rhythm, and soul of street culture. Bold graphics, fresh designs, each one tells a story of self-expression and individuality. This is more than just clothing. It's a lifestyle fueled by hip-hop and street dance. So are you ready to embrace the streets? Swarm Brand, where authenticity meets style. Join the movement.
Welcome back. What's good? It's your boy Mafioso. I'm sitting here with my good friend Bree. We are talking about business. We are talking about SpongeBob. We are talking about all types of different stuff. But this segment of the episode is where we talk about like them, what they are inspired by, what they do, things of that sort. So as you've seen earlier in the episode, we were talking about how she came up to my wife at the skating rink, and she was like, hey, I have this crazy idea. I build cakes. I smash them. What she smashes them with is the best part. Her ass. It was a crazy idea when we first thought about it and when she first brought it to us. And I was like, look, it's a great idea. I just don't know how it's going to transpire. But this woman literally went from 0 followers to now 150K, if I'm not mistaken, in what, 6 months?
Not even. I think it started like end of September, beginning of October.
Yeah. And then like by November, you bought your website.
Yeah.
And you've been working with me since then.
Yeah.
So she came to me after she got like 15, 20K followers.
I'm like, help.
And she was like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. How do I invoice people? What do I do with this? I'm like, okay, look, let's get down to business. And so I've been helping her. So AS, I remember the idea, but what triggered you wanting to do something like this?
So this was not actually my idea. This was my friend Dustin. I love you, Dustin. This was my friend Dustin's idea for years. Okay. He brought it up jokingly and he was like, you know what I would do if I was pretty and had a fat ass and knew how to decorate? I'm like, what? He goes, I would record myself making cakes and then I would sit on it and play in it and sell it. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And like, you're out of your mind. And for years he was like, Bree, I'm telling you, if you do this, you will make a lot of money. And I'm like, Dustin, cap, no. For years.
And then you started asking people about it.
And I was like, hey, yo, how do you guys feel about this idea? And everyone was like, yo. And I was like, well, maybe if it's done right, maybe it's not the craziest idea. So my question is
did Dustin get a cut?
No, but I do take very good care of him.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I was like, Dustin did not get a cut. I should probably give him a cut, but he is just happy to watch me grow and finally take his idea.
He's a real friend.
And put it into fruition. And he's just like, I'm just living vicariously through you at this point because I can't do it. No one's going to watch me sit on a cake.
Sounds about right.
But he's like, well, they'll definitely watch you. And I do have to thank him for being so persistent about this idea because I did not think it would work out as well as it did. I truly thought, you know what? I've seen crazier things on the internet. Let's see what happens. Like I said, if it's done right, maybe it won't be too, and people are, no pun intended, eating that shit up.
Literally. Man, I remember when she first got to 20, then she got to 50, then she got to 100. I was like,
growing. It's still going.
Yeah, literally, it's still going.
And it's like because I've been.
I looked at your profile like the other day, and I was like, oh damn, she's at 149,000 followers.
And I've been posting like once a week now because I've been so busy with other projects and things, trying to get stuff moving. So I'm like, okay, it's an episode. It's like TV, once a week minimum. Okay, keep it coasting. But even then, it's still growing. I'm like, I'm only posting once a week, and people are still like, who is this?
Yeah. And my thing is now that you have the following, all you got to do is keep their attention. Attention is the key.
I know.
So
it's scary.
What's the process of the cake smashes? So just to give you guys an example, like we'll put her links and everything in there so you could check her Instagram out. But she bakes the cake. She has like her little catchphrases, smash.
No, it's crush it.
Crush it. Like she like has all this stuff, and then like it shifts the camera, and it's literally the cake, and she sits on it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And I'm clothed, by the way. For people who
she's not naked.
I'm not naked. I'm wearing like those tight gym shorts or whatever. But if you want to see me naked, you can subscribe to my OnlyFans for $14.99 a month.
Shameless plug.
I mean, like, shit. People are asking. I'm like, if you want to see me bikini, $14.99 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and we've talked even on your OnlyFans. You're not doing crazy stuff. Oh, okay. Well, I guess.
Oh, okay. They can pay for it though. It's like extra, like, so okay. As I learned from OnlyFans works, there's a main page where people can pay to be, and you can like post whatever. But if they want
like personal messages or
more exclusive content, then they can unlock that for an even higher price.
Okay. So what is the craziest cake or most challenging cake you've ever made?
See, I feel like they're not that challenging anymore because I just do it so often. Fuck. I know that sounds so.
That's how I feel about websites.
I'm trying to think. Like maybe your guys' most recently that I did was
the
SpongeBob cake. If y'all don't know, this man had me do a 2-tier SpongeBob cake. The top was the pineapple, and the bottom was like the sky bikini bottom with all the characters and things.
I didn't have her do anything. My son wanted it, and my wife was like, you know what? We gonna do it. I'm like, okay.
And we
if
know
Bree can make it happen, we'll make it happen.
And I made it happen.
Bruh, I'll put a in the link or whatever. I'll put like a picture of the freaking cake. It was crazy. So okay, well, hey, I feel good.
Yeah.
We gave you one of the most challenging cakes. Now, for the final question of this segment, I really want to hear this. What is the most craziest request you've gotten on OnlyFans?
On OnlyFans?
Yeah, I had to make it OnlyFans.
Of course. That's why I was like, when you say request, I was like, do you mean cake request or like OnlyFans
no,
request?
No, OnlyFans.
The most out of pocket that I've had thus far, there's a couple. A lot of people want to watch me use the bathroom, and I'm like, I draw the line there. It's not for me. Anything with like things coming out of like this lower half, it's not like, sexual fluids. I'm like, hey guys, no. It's hard no. Yeah, I get asked that. And then I have to make a rule that no food goes inside me that's not my mouth.
That would obviously be a rule.
But I had to make it a rule.
Wow. Okay. I'm not even going to ask any more questions.
I don't feel like that just enough gives you the idea of the request.
On that note, we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break because that's crazy. We'll be right back, y'all.
You were ready. I was like, oh, you sure you're ready?
Looking to level up your brand? Swarm Branding has got you covered. Whether it's graphic design that brings your ideas to life, web design that turns clicks into customers, print media to make a lasting impression, or pay-per-click campaigns that delivers results, we specialize in taking your brand to the next level. At Swarm Branding, we combine creativity, strategy, and expertise to create tailor-made solutions for your business. Visit us at swarmeverything.com or call 702-758-5591 to start growing your brand today. Swarm Branding. Let's create together.
Sorry, y'all. Off camera was a little crazy just now. But look, we appreciate y'all for still being here if you're here. This part of the episode, we usually get a little deep. We get like understanding of who they are, what challenges they go through, things of that sort. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I want to like kind of like left field it real quick because I don't take it lightly that you like have trusted me with everything.
Aww.
Like I don't take that lightly. Just understand that. Like I've gone through a lot in the past couple of years in business, and the fact that you respect me and honor what I know and what I do, it means a lot. And like the fact that you come here and you're like open to us guiding you and helping you, it's dope. It's
thank you.
like if I could be honest, like you're probably one of my favorite clients. And I tell my wife all the time about like what new stuff we do for you and stuff like that. And she's a hella big supporter of you. Like, so just keep doing what you're doing and being genuinely who you are, because that's what's shining to people.
People notice that. Like, I'm not being fake about it. Yeah, I'm just like, it is what it is, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm still figuring out my shit like everybody else in the world. Like,
and I feel like I posted something today on Instagram, and I feel like people have to understand that like everybody in this world is going through something right now.
Absolutely.
At all times.
At all times, absolutely.
So like kindness, empathy, love, support,
compassion,
grace,
just listening, just to listen.
Yeah,
that makes such a big difference.
It makes a huge difference, and people are so quick to judge and so quick to
have their opinions on things, and it's just like shut up.
Yeah,
just shut up.
And I told one of my friends the other day, I was like, man, like the reason I stick to myself so much now and not get involved in anybody's stuff is because if it doesn't affect me financially or my home, I don't need to say anything about it.
Bro, if they're not paying your bills, why are you giving a fuck?
I have these I have these three sayings. If it's not feeding me, fucking me, or financing me, I don't need to worry about it. My wife feeds me, my wife fucks me, and my business finances me. Besides that, my kids, and that's it.
Preach.
But obviously you're growing.
Yes.
Things are moving.
Fast.
We see that. What's the final form?
What do you mean by like final form? Like the end land?
Not necessarily an end game, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go buy commercial real estate. I'm going to go do this.
Or like the
for
form
cakes
of this.
on cakes in general.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
What do you want to turn this into?
I would like to turn this into like my own little empire. If so, like I don't want it to
personal
be,
brand.
Yeah, like I don't want it to be just one thing. I don't want it to be just cake sitting. I don't want it to be just OnlyFans. I want to be able to like get on Twitch and maybe do like live streams of it. I want to be able to like maybe go on other platforms.
Different revenue streams.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be just one thing. I'm not one face. Like I feel like I have a lot of other what's the word? Characteristics.
You're very
Dynamic.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the perfect word.
So I want to like make sure that I keep that dynamic as I do my other projects as well, but also kind of keep it all together in the same way.
Yeah. And that my business is a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
Like we have Swarm Branding, which brings in mainly the revenue.
Yeah.
But then I have the Battle of the R&Bs. I have the Crump Crew. I have the clothing
That
line.
you have all these things that still tie into Swarm, and that's what I'm trying to
Yes.
do. Is I'm trying to have all these side products that still comes back to
Cakes
me.
on cakes,
Like
yeah.
cakes on cakes, but I also want it to be me. Like I'm not just cakes on cakes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, hey, here's an artist who's using
There's Mafioso, and then there's Swarm Brand.
word.
You have whatever you're going to name yourself, whether it be Bryanna Large, whatever you name yourself, and then you have your brand.
Yes.
The business is the entity. You are the entity and the personal brand that represents that business.
Correct.
That's what you have to think about it as. Whatever is involved in that, you're going to curate because you're the creative. So that's the best way to do it in 2025, because you could start a plumbing business. You could start a HVAC company. But when that company gets on social media, the way people buy is through a person.
Yes.
And that is what I tell people all the time. I'm like, you see every company out there have people in their videos, or they have a voiceover, or they have some sort of personal branding in their videos. And that's where a lot of businesses misconstrue. I don't want to be on camera. I want to be behind the scenes. Okay, well then you have to find somebody that's going to be on camera.
If they want to talk to a
camera,
person.
the camera is going to get you. Like video is where it's at. So that's good. Now, when you're having a bad day, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed with your neck all crinked, how do you stay inspired?
It's hard. I mean, I'm honestly having a weird like rut lately where like as I'm learning as working from home, we talked about it earlier, like structure and like finding my own groove has been so difficult. Oh my gosh. That is my biggest enemy right now, myself. And
It's understandable.
it's a lot. It's
What I want you to know is my calendar is legitimately besides the Bible, it's my Bible.
see, but I need to treat it like a Bible because I'm more like, and I'm like, no, girl, this is your income now. This is your livelihood. Like you have made the jump.
You. It's new to
very
you.
new.
So you have to understand that you're going to go through ebbs and flows and you're going to go through seasons. So what my advice is to you is set a physical schedule for yourself. If you know that you got shit to do, or even if you don't have anything to do, find something to do that's going to get you out of the house. And not only that, that's going to make you productive.
That
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you know that, okay, I want to create different revenue streams. A section of your week is to create different revenue streams. A section of your week is to handle accounting.
Mm-hmm.
A section of your week is to handle invoices.
Okay.
And then you break that down by day. You find what your business entails. What do you have? Like I remember when I had to let one of my people go, I had to write every single task that we do weekly on a piece of paper. And then I divvied them tasks up between people.
Okay.
So that's what you can start with. It's like, hey, on a weekly basis, what do I have to do? I know I have to post one cake smash video.
At least one.
I know I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this and this and this. Okay, how do I optimize my time and do these quick to where I could do whatever I want to do?
That, because especially working from home and trying to get yourself structured in your own house is
This is hard.
hard as fuck,
It's hard.
bro. I have worked 80 plus hours in a week before, okay? And
But you left your house.
yes, but I'm finding it harder to work from home. Believe it or not, I'm finding it harder to actually work from home than I did working 80 plus hours at a different job.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you want to get away from your home and not have to pay for an office, I got a desk that's open right there. Bring your laptop and sit there if you want to get out the house. That's just I've offered that to a couple people because I know a lot of people that work from home creatively.
I know, but you're a 35-minute drive from my house.
Get yourself a suite.
I know. I thought about that, like a suite, or
You
even
don't
just
need
like,
it right now.
No, but I thought about
But
even
in
just
the
like going
future-
to like the coffee shop and get out for like 3 hours free and
Starbucks.
just do your shit on the computer.
Yeah.
Just get out. Like when the sun's up, go do things.
You have
Okay,
a
at
phone.
this
You have a
time-
hotspot. If all you're using is internet, go to the park.
Yeah.
Sit there.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if that's what you have to find but you're not going to do that sitting on your bed.
No.
You're not. No. So you have to find what works best for you, because if once you find it, and me personally, it used to be before I had an office, it was, all right, I'm going to shut the door, babe. You watch the kids. I'll be back in 3 hours. and I would literally lock myself in the room and just get stuff
lock myself in my, because I have rooms I've turned into studios where I work. So maybe it's just like lock the door. You cannot leave this room until your work is done. Like
I have on my desk, I have a timer. It's a little circle timer, and it's got a 60-minute timer. I'll be like, all right, I have to design this. Okay, timer for 60 minutes. I don't move until that timer's done.
Bet. Okay. Something like that.
What's gonna get you furthest now that you got the money coming in is your systems and your structure. It's going to get you to the next level. What people have a problem with is the systems and structure. We want to be creative all the time.
I'm struggling. What is structure? What is time? What is anything? What is day?
What you want to do is, we're going to talk about this off camera.
Yeah.
But
we got some business to talk about. Yes.
Okay. Last question before we end this, which thank you again for hopping on.
No, of course. Thank you for having me.
It means the world.
If you want to talk about SpongeBob ever again, I got you.
What's next? And how can people find you?
You guys can find me right now on Instagram, Cakes on Cakes with Ease. No, 3's for Ease. Yeah, Cakes on Cakes. What's next is I'm trying to get my website more together with the help of you guys. These people, when I tell you guys, have been so amazing, understanding. They work hard. They know their shit. They are like, I would not be here without you guys. Like, thank you guys so much. And I still feel like I have so much to learn. And like, I'm so grateful I have you guys to help guide me and like get me on the right track. So thank you for all that you do.
Amen.
So my goal is to just get more organized, to get myself structured, to get myself on that timeline. Because once I do, I know, bro, I'm going to take off and just do so much more shit. Like, I'm so excited.
Definitely. Well, look, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff you need to do. Follow both of us, follow all of our accounts, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Hive Hustle Podcast. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Also, follow our partner, Swarm Branding. We'll see y'all next time.